It's very difficult. And what really muddles these kinds of IDEs or interfaces is that there's so many entry points into bridging the gulfs, right? There's the gulf of the specification where you need to externalize your intent as fully as possible. And there's the gulf of generalization, which is you need to make sure your prompt works, like regardless of RAG, regardless of like whatever hyperparameters that were selected. And right now, humans are relied on to give those hints for both the gulfs. Like you have to know how RAG works so you can give the appropriate hints to bridge the generalization gulf. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we intentionally made a decision to fork off of, which we originally started with like a Slack, like an agent that's in your Slack, a teammate essentially. And we actually started on the help desk and we're fielding questions from engineers. So one engineer be like a platform team supporting another engineer coming in with like a question, and getting in between engineers was very hard because there's a lot of like chit chat, there's a lot of back and forth. Often the questions they need immediate answers. They're something that somebody spent a whole day on. And this is a very synchronous engagement. Where with the alert flow, it's a lot more asynchronous. There's not necessarily, it's a system generating alert. You can investigate that on your own time. And so if you take the cursors and the Devons of the world, it's kind of similar, right? With cursor, you're in the loop. It's the most important thing of your day that you're trying to solve with cursor. With Devon, it's different because you're saying, code this thing for me, but it's like a side task you'd give to an intern, basically. Yeah. And I think in our case, we're also trying to take the grunt work away from engineers that they're not immediately trying to solve. So it's more like an ambient background agent that's just doing all this work for you. And if you check in, you're like, well, okay, it solved like 20 alerts for me. I don't have to go and look at those. How do you think about this like dichotomy or like the difference between these two worlds? Because I think these use cases are actually different.
They're very different, and you can't rely on the human like hints to work because you're not the premier IDE for human attention.
Exactly. Yeah.